The maggots are using sexual abuse power as a selling point for the maggot base. And now with allegations against Rudy Kaludi and Russell Brand, this is what they're going to go with. Because Russell Brand has faced a lot of sexual abuse allegations, so has Rudy Kaludi and Trump. All of them have faced sexual allegations. Sometimes it's who you most suspect, and that's what a friend texted to a group chat after the Sunday Times, the Times, and the Channel 4 dispatches after they released a disturbing investigative report documenting rape and other sexual allegations against popular British comedian Russell Brand. Now, the comedian and actor Russell Brand has denied all allegations, but it's not surprising that most of the public does not seem to believe his denials. In part, it's because the evidence against Brand is overwhelming. He's got 5 separate accusers. There's digital documentation and a litany of witnesses ready to corroborate how Brand's behavior was an open secret in radio and television production. In part, it's because being a skis was always central to Brand's persona, and in large part, it's because there have been comments over the years from celebrities like his ex-wife Katy Perry and Kristen Bell about Brand's predatory behavior. Of course, yeah, he was married to Katy Perry, and that didn't last long. That marriage lasted a little over, like, not even 2 years. A news source called The Onion, as they often do, said it best with the headline, "Nation could have sworn Russell Brand was already a convicted sex offender." And yet, like the clockwork, the maggot masses are rallying to Brand's side because, they love their pedophiles and they love their sexual predators. It's treating and they're basically trying to treat these allegations like they're evidence that the deep state is trying to take Brand out for some big reason. As Joy Saha documented at Salon, the usual suspects like the racist piece of shit Tucker Carlson, the whiny crybaby snowflake bitch Ben Shapiro, and Jordan Peterson defended Brand this week and floated conspiracy theories to distract from the serious allegations. Elon Musk, of course, got involved writing on the platform that he rebranded X, which used to be known as Twitter. They don't like competition, and Greg Gutless elevated the conspiracy theory to foe. Do any of these conspiracy theorists believe their own bullshit that they're spewing? For me, I'm skeptical that any of these men actually mean a single word that they fucking say, but they are, after all, arguing that Brand is such an all-powerful threat to the mysterious that they organized a conspiracy of dozens of people. Reporters, editors, fact-checkers, witnesses, and accusers for the purpose of smearing an innocent man, with allegations such as he forced his dick down her throat so hard that she had to punch him to escape. Now, and there's a lot of work for the mighty they to take out one person, and keeping that many conspirators quiet is nearly impossible. You think they would have a simpler method of dealing with people that they want to get rid of? The more likely explanation is that Brand's defenders believe he did it. They're just angry that anyone would deny a man his patriarchy given right to rape as many people as he pleases. Now, after all, this is the same crowd that supports Trump, a man whose history of sexual assault has been put beyond disputes both in court of law and by his own infamous tape bragging about how he likes to grab them by the pussy, and because he claims that he's a star, that they have to let him get away with it. No, they don't. History shows the quickest way to be a hero to the maggot crowd, and it's to be credibly accused of rape, ideally by a large number of women. And we see this in the same clan rallying type around the pig response maggot to Andrew Tate, a man whose total worthlessness as a human being was evident long before he was arrested for rape and human trafficking in Romania. And Tate was an influencer who preyed on school kids who were too young to know any better, and it wasn't exactly coy about his misogyny or violent impulses before his arrest. He openly bragged about hitting women and trapping them in the house, and even offered to teach his followers how to get into sex trafficking. And despite, or really because of all this, the maggot reaction to Tate's arrest was to treat the guy like a fucking pathetic hero. The racist piece of shit Tucker Carlson interviewed him for Twitter, and Elon Musk heavily hyped the video. Needless to say, it's not a hard-hitting interview exploring the evils of sexual violence. It was a softball interview meant to portray Tate, who was accused of choking women so hard that he broke blood vessels in their faces, as the real victim, even though he's not the victim. Now one could argue, I suppose, that this stampede of support for the worst possible men isn't meant as a celebration of rape per se. There's always the just trolling defense. In this case, the argument would be that it's just the maggot types the maggot types just really love to trigger the feminists. Throwing a fucking pathetic pity party for an accused rapist is a virtual form of ponytail pulling in this rendering. Now, even if that were true, it's ultimately a distinction without difference. Once you're throwing ticker tape parades for sexual predators, it really stops mattering if it's just out of the anti-feminist fight. Now, the new allegations against Rudy Kaludi are a grotesque reminder that now when it comes to much of maggot, that Trump's appeal was due in large part to the perception that he created an atmosphere where open predation towards women was acceptable. Now, Cassidy Hutchinson, a former White House aide who has since spoken out about the Klan attack that she witnessed under Trump, has a new book out. Now, in it, she accuses Rudy Kaludi of groping her on January 6, 2021, which was the day that the Klan attack happened. Seemingly because he was excited by the Klan attack on the Capitol. And to add insult to injury, she describes John Eastman, another Klan attack plotter, as flashing a leering grin while Rudy Kaludi manhandled her. Now, Kaludi, for his part, is denying the allegations, and his denials are being greeted with a great deal of scoffing. After all, he's currently tied up in litigation with a former aide accusing him of bullying her into unwanted sexual intercourse. Now, his accuser, Noel Dunphy, has produced grotesque receipts, including a tape of Kaludi declaring, "Come here, big tits, your big tits belong to me," which they don't. Even without the Dunphy lawsuit, Hutchinson's claims were believable simply because she was working under the sexual predator Donald Trump, and we've all heard the Access Hollywood tape in which Trump brags at length about how he enjoys sexually assaulting women, and because he believes that because he's a star that he can get away with this, and they have to let him do it. It makes perfect sense that he would attract compatriots who craved an environment where men can just sexually grope women whenever they want. The least surprising thing in the world is if these men saw young and pretty aides like Hutchinson as party favors, Trump was offering up to these co-conspirators. Now, there's a tendency in the mainstream press to talk about rape and sexual abuse as something everybody disapproves of. When a credibly accused assailant gets a surge of support, the assumption is these folks believe the accused is innocent, when it's impossible to imagine that they believe that. No one can think that Trump is innocent because he's not. Then the assumption is that the sexual predation is a flaw that the sycophants are reluctantly accepting because they like other traits of the accused. Now, but there is a third possibility, one that this evidence shows is the likeliest one: sexual abuse as a vice signal. Being seen as a sexual abuser makes a person more popular with some on the right, especially the extremely online maggot set. It's a subculture of people who valorize bullying and hate women, especially women who they think are uppity. Sexual violence has been a primary outlet for that urge to humiliate women and put them in their place. This isn't about the sincere belief that every accused rapist is a victim of a deep state conspiracy. It's just that maggots' knee-jerk urge when they hear these allegations of sexual violence is to side with the perpetrator. And you happen to notice that all the sexual predators are in the Republican Party. Rudy Kaludi. Then you got Donald Trump, Matt Gaetz, that one guy, Chip Roy, I think was his name. All these fucking maggots, maggot sycophantic office holders are basically all sexual predators who have gotten away with a lot of the shit. Now, but a lot of the shit is damning because there's even though that Rudy Kaludi, Russell Brand, Chip Roy, and Matt Gaetz all denied that they've ever had sexual encounters, the evidence is too damning because there's a lot of witnesses that can prove that they've done this stuff and stuff like that, and they're still gonna deny it anyway. But the quickest way to be a hero to Donald Trump sycophants is to face multiple credible sexual assault allegations, and that's what they're going to try to do. And this is their selling point, and this is what they're going to try to go on. And they believe that by having these sexual predators, that they can win election, and that's not going to happen. So, if you like the video, you can give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, RBW King. You can also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. Hit the like and subscribe. Also, if you want to leave a comment, let me know what you think. And if you want to support my work and my brother, you can donate to my Patreon link, which you can find in the About section of YouTube. And for just as little as a few bucks a video or a month, your donation can help go a long way, and thanks for listening.